Howdy, partner, and welcome back to another rootin' tootin' week of local news here on 1101 APH, provisioned, as always, by our local historical society. The waters have finally receded, and the local folk can walk on solid ground once again. I. Sorry about that. I think I got a little excited because the rodeo is in town. We did our best to keep it a surprise during last week's news, but some of you out there are just too sharp and stayed out on Sunday to watch the line of chuck wagons and cowpokes make their way into town and begin setting up for festivities. I know I'm not the only one who's excited, so let's jump directly into our look at the week ahead. Monday. Now that the Rime Lake Rodeo has finished setting up in town, the events are set to begin. They are planning to start with some of the more lighthearted events, as the contestants warm up for the main events later in the week. So, pulling an event from a 10-gallon hat, they decided to open with a horseshoe tossing competition. So, if there are any interested parties, just look for the sign-up table and make sure your horse properly registers to play. After that, just help them into the specifically supplied throwing shoes and let them start kicking. Judges will award winners for both the most points and for the most graceful kick. Tuesday, the event of choice is steer wrestling. So if you think you have what it takes to win against 500 pounds of beast, then sign up early because spots are limited. I know there are a lot of folks out there begging for a good fight while they finish drying out the small claims court arena, so this may be the event for you. The event will be set up in tag team format with elimination by pin or ring out, so find a partner and get ready to rumble. The final team remaining will have the chance to go against the reigning champions, Meatloaf and T-Bone. Wednesday, show up early for the kids events. Starting at 5:30 a.m., children will have the chance to win fame and glory as they kick off the mutton busting, greased pig, and calf scramble events. Each of these events is an impressive event in its own right, but the fact that they host all of them at the same time and in the same arena means a whole day of rodeo fun. Kids will shift from event to event as their attention is drawn, and judges will be on watch to determine the best times for each contestant throughout the day. Helmets and waivers are mandatory for entry. Thursday, the rodeo is circling the wagons in preparation for the Chuck Wagon Cook-Off. When the dinner bell rings, make your way down to the wagons for only the finest of cowboy cooking. All the rules of the trail apply, so if anyone complains about the food, they swap places with the cook. The event ends when the crowds are fed, and the winner will be decided by how long they cooked without receiving a complaint. I look forward to seeing some of the sticklers trying their own hand at the cook fire. Friday will be the day of the big bull riding event. At 6:30, the buzzer will announce the first rider, and the event will continue until the times have been collected from all interested riders. While a fairly straightforward event, it's not to be taken lightly. The reigning Cantagree champion will be contending again this year, so if you think you can beat last year's display by Gracie, of our own Gracie Spoon, who completed the ride while snapping an entire pound of green beans with her free hand in just 8 seconds, then come on down for a battle of the best. Saturday, the Wet Cats Rodeo Clown Group will be putting on a special performance. With some special care and preparation, they plan to attempt something never before seen by a live audience. The group will be working to do the first ever steer juggling act. They add that while many have said that it can't be done, they have found that with good teamwork and an emphasis on lifting with the knees, it does wonders for what is actually possible. So if you are interested in seeing a rodeo first and aren't afraid of clowns, then come on down for what should be truly an entertaining evening. Sunday. Come and see the ladies in all their traditional finery as they begin the process of selecting the rodeo queen. Interested ladies should make sure that they have the proper support members to help maintain the outfits and guide them through the arena once the full outfits are adorned. As you all recall from the last rodeo, a lack of support personnel caused serious issues both for crowd navigation and some serious structural damage. So only serious parties need apply, as the winner will be the face of the rodeo for the next year. We take this event very seriously, adds the event coordinators, and we plan to pull it off without causing a stampede this time. Now, on to local news write-ins. Mr. Telsky has written in to protest this influx of new painted performers. I think he means the clowns. He writes that he doesn't appreciate the new arrivals trying to steal his audience and stepping into his arena just as he was ready to bring a new act to the stage. Oh, really? This is the first I'm hearing about this. Furthermore, he warns that they had best watch themselves because no one sneaks up on you quite like a mime. Well, Mr. Telsky, I certainly hope that you can be a little more gracious to our temporary guests during their stay. Mrs. Combe, our resident green thumb, is writing in to say that with all the horses and cattle in town, there is an abundance of high-quality fertilizer, and so is hosting an informal Composting 101 class all week for interested parties. So if you are interested in a chance to grow plants like Mrs. Combe, you might want to pop on over for a lesson on cowpats. The netizens have suddenly run out of yellow yarn and are asking if anyone happens to know what happened to it. They added that the project they are working on uses very little yellow in it, so they can't have run out, and are asking for any leads as to what might have happened to the 25 pounds of yarn they had been keeping in case of a color emergency. Any information should be directed to Robin Curler. We got a surprising amount of write-ins this week from fish enthusiasts singing praises for last week's fish brew. The general theme was that they felt the efforts were very worthwhile and that they hoped there would be a continued effort to perfect the art of fish brewing. Since we had so many write-ins, I had to mention them here, but seriously? You people are weird. Here is a hint for those of you who made it to this year's Night Bazaar. You know who you are. The first clue for finding next year's bazaar is walnut. I repeat, walnut. I look forward to seeing you all there again next year. Oh, and by the way, this year's display was the most impressive yet, and I look forward to next year's attempts to top it. Seriously though, 7 of them? Who would have thought it could be done? Emerald River Traders has a special deal this week on saddle glue. Perfect for getting that deep seat and a faraway look in your eyes you realize that your pants have been permanently bound to your saddle. Each bottle of glue comes with a free bottle of grease to aid in the escape process. They also add that they are hard at work trying to create an effective solvent to get the interested parties free from said saddles without leaving their pants behind. Now, on to the weather. It certainly is nice to have Captain Harrison back as our news correspondent once again. So, since Dorothy is still a little skittish about flying in messages after the last time got her trapped in a subterranean, but still incredibly lovely, home for over a week. So, this week we tried something a little different. I have been tossing paper airplane notes out of the window towards his house since the start of the broadcast, and I think one of them must have made it because I see him out in front of his house and waving something around. Not his usual spot to deliver weather news, but I'm always up for something new. Let's see. Well, it looks like he's only using one flag, so this may be trickier than usual. A C? Or is that a D? Having some trouble here, Captain. Was that a V? Or, no, wait, I think he's just out in the yard playing fetch with Shark. You know, they have gotten along so well since their high water adventures. Well, you know what? It's such a lovely day. Let's just hope it stays like this all week. Well, citizens, we have a week of rodeo fun ahead. Dorothy and I plan to mosey on down to the shows and enjoy the view, so I hope to see you there. I have been your host, Risden Mitchell, and I'll talk to you soon, Cantagree. All right, let's play something that sounds good while walking off into the sunset.